Welcome to the RC Community Sticker Project, brought to you by Fast Freddy RC. In today's video, we're doing a shout-out to All RC Fun, Great Guy, Amazing RC Lightwork, Fantastic Custom Builds, and for his daughter Meredith at Meredith Strong. Meredith, you are an amazing little girl, and you truly are strong. Wishing you all the very best in your recovery. So for step 32, attaching the wheels. Well, there's a couple of things we have to do. Obviously there's attaching the wheels, but we actually have to put in this support system, which will help make sure that the body mount posts are fairly sturdy. And you can see that we use this threaded shaft, and then we've got bobby pin, snap pins, and then these pieces here. And this has to be at the 20mm size so that it will slide onto this, and then of course the body's going to fit on top of that. Now, as I said in the previous step, it shows you putting the tires on, but if you're messing about with this step, I think it's going to be a lot easier for you if you don't have the tires on. And the fact that the very next step is pretty much the exact same thing, we're going to blend these two steps. I'm not putting any tires on, we're just going to work with this and work with this, and once that's done, we'll then go to installing the front tires and then installing the rear tires. So let's get to putting this together, and then we can keep going. So first off, we've got to grab two of these support posts and start turning these in. Now I'm going to try this again. It was a very tight fit with the other one, but if I grab my shock pliers, I can screw this in with ease, but I can see that the post is actually starting to spin again. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get it started, and the shock pliers help with that because you can get a nice firm grip on it. Try to make sure that you can get it going easy. There we go. And that one went on a little easier, so I'm just going to try this again. Doing it that way. Okay, so we need this at 20mm. So that's going to be, well, we're way out, so I mean this has to be spun in by quite a bit. Let's just check that. We're close. Check that again. It's one of the things that I really like about the Tamiya instructions is that even this diagram is showing the 20mm, and it's pretty bang on. So if we look at this, if it needs to be 20mm, you can see that it's pretty bang on right where it is. And even by placing this right here, it looks like it's in pretty good shape. So knowing that, we can grab the front end, which is what this is. We're going to grab the front end, and we're going to take these two bits and we're going to slide them on top and slide it down. Very cool. So the whole point of the pins are, it's showing that it says attach lower in 5th hole from the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's got to go right there. Then that's going to sit on top of it. So same thing on the other side. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So now that is sitting, but it's actually offering support. But of course, you can see that they're showing that those body pins have to fit on the top. So as soon as we've got this in place, we can grab the other pin, slide it into the top one, and same thing on the other side. So now this bit is pretty much locked in place, but it's keeping this supported. So knowing that we've done the front, I'm not going to do the tires, as I've said. So we're going to actually move on to this one and do the same thing. So I'll grab the pieces and we'll put that on. Okay, so I've got our pieces here. Now what's interesting is this threaded shaft is longer than the one that was on this side, because the posts are a little wider at the back because of the obviously they're the width of the truck, and it's got that big back end. It's slightly wider than the front, so it's got the wider or the longer shaft. So same thing, we need to be able to screw this in, but now it's going to be at a different length. So let's grab our shock pliers here, spin this on. Okay, I'm going to turn that around. Same thing. And like I said, this is easier because you see how I've got a firm grip with the shock plier. I can just manipulate this end so I can get it as level as possible, and then just keep spinning it on. So between the two of them, let's just see. This is supposed to be 30. Well, we got a long way to go. So I'm just gonna do this again. Hold it in place. Try to balance it out so that both sides are on relatively evenly. Now let's do the check. Yep, we got a long way to go. Turn that around. Okay, let's see what we're at now. We're close, so I'm just going to spin this way now, rather than use the shock pliers, and we can kind of do a little bit of a test here. It's looking correct. Yeah, that looks bang on. So if I grab the ruler, and we're looking for 30 millimeters in there as the 30 millimeter spread, which it is. So there we go. There is our rear one. So I'll grab our chassis here, and it's showing that this needs to go down tight. Let's see, where is it? Attach upper one in 5th hole from the top. Oh, attach. Oh, the upper one in 5th one. Okay. Oh, well that's fine. So let's say attach upper one in 5th hole from the top. Okay. So let's do it that way. Let's grab our pin, and knowing that if it's 5th hole from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, well here, if we put this on top of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5th hole. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We know that the other pin can simply attach in the bottom hole wherever it fits. So there we go. So again, if we're doing the other side, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the other one will fit on the bottom, just like that. And then we've got this, which is just helping to keep the body mounts a bit more sturdy. So that's in the end what it's looking like. We've got the body mounts here, which is there, and then the ones down below, which are keeping these body mount posts from moving too much. They're more or less held in place. So the fact that we've got those now in place, we can now finally move on to installing the wheels. So we'll do that on both sides. So I'll grab those and the bits and pieces we need, and we'll put them on. Okay, so let's finish this step. So we need a right tire. There's our right tire, so it's going that way, so it's going to fit on this side. And we need to put our final bearing into the axle hub there. Then it's showing that this piece is fitting inside of here, which is interesting. So that's got to go in first, which actually pushes it out. On the Blackfoot, it's almost basically level, but that's got to go in first for this to work. So we're going to grab a pin, and because this has a differential, I can level this out. So we're going to put that pin in just like that. Now, the other thing is it shows grease. Well, as you know, with the ball bearings, I do not do that. So I will not be putting grease on that. But now what we need to do is make sure that this is lining itself up with the pin. Which it's not yet. Well, actually, let's do it that way then. There we go. That's in place. So now I'll put that wheel back on. And we'll grab our nylon flange nut. Just going to screw that in a bit, and we'll tighten this up. Just make sure that that is correct. Yes. Want to make sure that that is staying on, so yeah. Excellent. So what's interesting is with that piece, because it pushes it out just a bit, it's actually pushing the wheels farther out, giving you a wider stance. Kind of interesting, that design. I've not seen that before, really. So same again, let's put our bearing into the hub, grab our pin, we'll keep that level, and in fact, because of what I've discovered with the other one, it's going to be easier if we put that on first. So if I look at it this way, you can see how that's got to sit. Keep that more or less as level as possible. Then we'll slide that on, make sure that it's level enough that it's going to fit. There we go, that's in place. Great. So now we're going to grab our left tire, so it's got to go in that direction. Put that on, and we'll grab our flange nut again. Make sure that's going on. Yes, it is. Okay, so we've got our front tires on. So that does mean that step 32 is complete So we're going to move on to step 33 and put those rear tires on. So let's do the same thing. I'm going to turn this around. Here's our chassis. We're going to grab our, let's see, this is our right wheel. So we're going to put our bearing into here, into the hub. Get this level as much as possible. Grab our pin, put the pin in. There we go. Grab our E piece, slide that on. Make sure that that is going on. Yes, it is. And we grab our tire, put that into place. Grab our flange nut. And in fact, I'm going to use this tool because I think it would be easier to do it that way. Way easier than the box wrench when I've got to go in so far. Let's make sure that's correct. No, it's easier with the box wrench because you can really get a firm grip on the nut. Okay, there we go. So we've got one last tire to work with. So again, let's keep this level, but first let's put in our bearing into the hub. Now get this as level as possible so that we can put the pin into the hole, which it is. Grab our E piece, slide that on. That's in the right place. Then we're going to grab our final and last tire, put that on, grab our flange nut. I'm going to use this for now just to get the initial nut on. Yeah, I just don't know. I prefer the box wrench. I get a better feel for the nut itself and what it's doing. And there we go. So there is our squash van, pretty much complete from the chassis and bodywork perspective. So that is super, super cool. Love it. Love the look of that. And, you know, the suspension's pretty good. I mean, yes, I think there's some bounce, but it feels really, really smooth. I'm happy with that. That's great. Awesome. Okay. So, that is it for both steps 32 and 33. So now we're going to move on to step 34 and install the battery pack. So this is going to be short and sweet because I think I don't really need to show you this step, but I will just because we've done everything else. If we take that off, honestly, the battery is just going to sit right there, and then we're going to connect it. Which I'm not going to do right now. This is then going to pop back on top, and with those same clips you just saw me take off, we put this back, pop it in, and pop it in. So that is essentially how the battery goes into the vehicle. Now, I'm not going to turn it on, as I said. And in fact, if we look at the next step after 34, it's all about the body. And you can see that we've got to cut it out, we've got to paint it, we've got to decal it, etc. Well, you will not be seeing me do any of this because the next step after this is going to be a complete surprise. We are now fully ready for the YouTube community project that I had in mind, and the body is going to be custom painted, custom deckled, custom. So the next video that I do, it will be a running video and a display video of the plans for this truck. And I have to tell you, I am super excited to reveal this once it's ready. I want to thank all of you who have supported my channel. I want to thank all of you who jumped on board to take part in this YouTube community project, because I think you're going to love what I have in mind with this. And again, I'm just super excited. So please stay tuned for this next video. It will take a little bit of time because once the body is painted, it then has to have the decals custom designed specifically to the paint job. It's going to be super cool. Anyways, this will end the build of the squash van. So please let me know, comment, let me know that it has been helpful for your builds. I'll be moving on to another one while we're getting this body all set and ready to go. And until next time, we'll see you in another video, and thanks so much.